Now, Australia Day is about being proud of our country and celebrating all things Australian. But it seems our local supermarkets are doing anything but that.
T-shirts, flags and other Australia Day merchandise lining the shelves are made in China. A lot of the retailers are even partners of the Australian Made campaign.
For more, Dick Smith joins us live from Gundaroo, I should say. Sorry, Dick, in New South Wales. Dick, good morning. How un-Australian is this? Our Australia Day gear made offshore, made in China?
Yeah, look, I can understand we probably can't make an Airbus 380 or even a pair of thongs. I mean, that's pretty hard. But surely we can print a paper plate with Australia on it, or we can have a drink coaster with Australia on it. Can't we do some technical things like that?
Reckon we could.
No, I think we probably could for the Australian manufacturing industry. Is it hypocritical though, that supermarkets support the Australian Made campaign, but don't actually sell homemade Australia Day products?
Yeah, that is the problem, but look, we don't make a lot of stuff anymore because we share the wealth, our wages are quite high. I'm going to go to the top cocky, Malcolm Turnbull, and say, look, on Australia Day, mate, we only have Australian products. It means we're only going to have Dick Smith Aussie sauce and a lamb chop, nothing else, because we don't even own Waltzing Matilda anymore.
And none of that New Zealand lamb, too.
Dick, shoppers, do you think they've been driven more by a good price? Are they more interested in a bargain than actually supporting our local producers and our local industries?
Yes, Mark, look, without doubt, look, when we go to the supermarket, we're not feeling that patriotic, even if there is an Aussie flag on it. Also, the labelling is really deceptive. All of this stuff for Australia Day, you'd swear that it was, you know, made in Australia. At least a paper plate could be printed here. But no, basically it all comes from China. You've got to look at the fine print because the big companies make sure that, the big multinationals, that you can't really tell if it's Australian owned and made because they're multinational. They want to be able to buy their products in the cheapest country, and that's normally China.
Yeah, I think consumers need to vote with their feet and make sure they back Aussie products. Dick, lastly, there's news that Dick Smith Electronics could have to shut its doors. It's sad to see the end of the road for an Australian company you founded.
Yeah, it is. Well, I sold it 30 years ago when we sold electronic components. Of course, I think when Woolworths sold it for about $80 million, $90 million, that's what it was worth. Then it got refloated for $500 million, and I think that was ridiculous. It's proved to be ridiculous. So it's sad for me, but let's hope someone will come along and save it. It's still a very good company. It's got thousands of Aussies working for it, so we'd love to see it saved.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Dick, if you ever need one of those adapters to go from the back of the TV into the stereo or the computer to somewhere else, there's only been one place to go. So we hope it does stay around in some form.
You're exactly right, yeah, and it is Australian owned, so that's pretty important, even though, of course, electronics, there's not much made in Australia anymore because that's not what we do. But look, we grow the best food in the world, so Aussie sauce and an Aussie lamb chop, that's what we need on Australia Day.
Yeah, love it.
Good message, good plug, Dick Smith.
Always
Thank
good
you
to
so
chat.
much for joining us this morning.